Hi, welcome to the Oncare Request for Quote tutorial. In this tutorial, I will demonstrate how an Oncare user can send a request for sales quote to multiple vendors. To begin, go to the Order drop-down menu at the top of the page, scroll down to Quotes, and select Add Quote. This will open up the Add Quote dialog box in which we will begin entering the quote specifications. In my demonstration, I'm looking to purchase a wheelchair for a new patient that is due to arrive at our facility in a few weeks' time. Therefore, I'll label my quote as wheelchair quote to differentiate it between other quotes that may be in my system. Next, I will choose the facility for which I'm sending the quote, which in my example is Economy Care Center. The department is medical. On behalf of the user, we'll say your name, in this case, Deborah Stern. The bid deadline date is the date you are telling the vendors by when they must submit their bids. The date needed date is the date by when you need the item. So for example, in my demonstration, the patient is due to arrive in 3 weeks' time, September 26th. Therefore, I will instruct the vendors that they must submit their bids by September 14th. I'll give them a week and a half. That way, it allows me another week and a half for shipping and ordering. My date needed is September 26th. I'll go ahead and select Create Quote, which brings me to the next step of entering the actual item needed. When entering an item, it is best to give as much descriptive information as necessary. So in my example, I am going to enter a wheelchair. I'd like the full-length arms model, and the dimensions are 18 inches by 16. This way I'm clearly notifying the vendor which wheelchair I want. The manufacturer details, I'm choosing to order the Oncare model, Oncare Tracer SX5 wheelchair. The ID number is TRS X5. Quantity is 1. Categories would be medical. Allow alternative item is if, for example, you're not so particular about a certain brand. If, in my example, you would just want any wheelchair. You don't need it to specifically be this Oncare model. By checking off this box, you're notifying the vendor that if they have a similar product, let's say a different brand or a different model, then you'd be open to purchasing that too. However, in my example, I want this Oncare model, and I will not check off the box. The notes would just be to enter in any notes you want to notify the vendor of. In my example, I'll leave it blank. And to follow through, you would just follow through just as you do with any other orders by sending it for approval.